Hello, Patriarch Panda here, and welcome to today's video where we talk about how crap Ladiva is, whilst also simultaneously giving a guide of how to play the character and how to deal with the character at the same time. So this is some really good info that's going to be passed about, and even though the game has been out for a very short period of time, keep in mind I do have a lot of Grappler experience. I usually know when a Grappler is going to be good or bad, and with Potemkin it took me a while, but then I realized he's bad, and now I'm like, oh, okay, he's good, and he's definitely a good pick. Zangief's just bad. You name it, right? I usually know when a Grappler is going to be crap because of my experience, but if you don't believe me, that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to have that opinion. That's awesome. But before we start, make sure to like and subscribe. But if you don't want to and wait until the end of the video or want to check out the other content, I recommend it. But let's get into today's video by starting off with Ladiva's good stuff before we get into any of the negatives. That way you can see the strengths of the character before knowing about the crap things that really holds her back. Good things we'll start off with as the normals. For example, 2L is a very good normal. Being neutral allows for essentially pick pro situations, and it links on hit into standing light, which is really good. It lets you start pressure, and if it hits, it guarantees a combo. Good normal. The next good normal is close light. Again, just like 2L, is a very good tech throw button. It also goes into your chain like auto combos, which allows for good tech throws, by the way, and can be spot dodge, call out, bravery counters. This is well known for most of the cast, and overall, it's just good. Like, there's no denying it. This is a very good move. Starter being 6 plus 4, you could do a lot with that, like frame trapping to close M. The next normal that's also very nice is definitely far M. It being -6 is a little rough, but because of the spacings you can use it, the opponent can't really punish you most of the time. But the main thing you can do is set up the next thing that we're going to talk into after I'm done with the next normal, which is 2M. 2M is an insanely good normal. It being +2 on normal hit kind of allows for cheeky stuff. It also combos into every form of headbutt besides medium, so that's also very nice. It's a very good combo tool, very good low poke, comes out at 8 frames, and is safe on block at -2. Very good block. It's a very good block. On whip, there's a good bit of recovery though, a lot like standing M, but on the plus side, on block, it's insanely good. This is a very safe low poke, essentially, since Ladiva doesn't have any lows besides this and 2U. It's good normal going to, that's kinda crazy, is 6XL. 6XL is juiced for the rest of the cast, +2 normal, and on counter hit can lead into a close M. Very consistently, you can do it every time, and if it's blocked, just do close M anyway, because it's a good frame trap. Overall, it's good, an amazing tech throw button, you name it, it does it all. And on normal hit, it is only +6, which again isn't bad because you can kind of set up a jab into pressure, or you can just go straight into a tech throw situation. Either or, it's an amazing button. You cannot go wrong with 6XL. But yeah, now we're going to be getting into the good specials, which are very good, might I add. Every form of headbutt is really good. Light headbutt being kind of like a safe frame trap that you can go into. On counter hit, you get a combo from it. It's very fast, and it being -2 at this type of spacing is also really good because it allows you to play an RPS with your opponent. Because like, even though you're -2, it allows for some cheeky stuff. For example, you could do light headbutt into armored headbutt, which again is also a really good move sometimes. Or you can do throw. You can set up far M to set up a throw, or you can do far M into headbutt, set up a throw, or you can do far M into 2U, call out frame trap, or you can do far M into 2M to call out a whip punish. Overall, light headbutt is really good, and if the opponent dodges light headbutt, you're actually plus enough to hit them with this as a punish. So you do bump, bump, bump. It works every time. It's the EX headbutt. Plus 3 on block, allows for good tech throw and mix-up situations. The second one being neutral is also very nice. It sets up a tech normal throw because it's a 4-frame startup. And as we know, normal throw leads to this situation, which is very unique and awesome. We love it. The other thing is, it has a third one that is -2 on block, but you're really close to the opponent. Most time they'll try to throw you, so you might need to go for a throw tech. It's kind of a rough RPS, but the third one is definitely a good frame trap that you can throw out sometimes to kind of like catch your opponent off. The only minus side about headbutts is that they all have a gap that you can DP in, but if the opponent uses an ultimate DP, it means they use 50% meter to get out of that situation, so overall not a bad trade for a little bit of your health. The next one I get into is definitely Ultimate Lariat. It having this kind of spacing, it being a mid unblockable if the opponent's standing, and sets up for a safe cross-up. It's not a safe jump, but the opponent might DP early and you jump over him, giving you an opportunity to punish. The other amazing thing is that on hit, it leads to a very nice juggle state, which allows for combos and hard knockdown. The other amazing thing is that if the opponent is crouch blocking, this is the only Lariat that will catch people crouching. This is the only Lariat that will catch people crouch blocking, which is extremely necessary to have. The only negative side about it is that it's a 17-frame startup. Not really too reactable because of the slowdown it is, and the opponent can attempt to throw you during it or attempt to do a neutral jump with punish. So keep that in mind when using this really good special. Here's the sad thing. That was all the good stuff. The next stuff that I'm going to be going into is awful stuff. And the other things I won't get into are just basically mediocre things. For example, a super throw, very mediocre, 9-frame startup. The opponent can do like a punch into jump during that time. It's nothing amazing, but it's nice to have, definitely. I'm not going to cap. This super's like okay for combos. This super I'll get into later. But besides that, it's pretty mediocre. This move is good, well, it's okay, and this move is also okay, but I'll get into why it could be better. But again, the next part is going to be about the bad normals this character has. So when you think about bad normals, you think about normals that kinda either serve no purpose or their niche uses are so niche you would never use them, or other things just outshine this normal in every capacity. Ladiva has all three of these aspects with these normals that are just awful. Awful. First one to get into is that 6L isn't too awful of a normal, but it whiffs on crouchers from certain ranges. For example, here. This unfortunately sucks because from spots like this, 6L whiffs. 6L whiffs from this situation. Not 6L, sorry, 5L. It whiffs. And that means you can't use this as some kind of call out to go with your tech throw setup. You kind of have to either go for this or that or this. And this is all risky to do after an already -2 situation. Keep that in mind. But besides that, 5L is actually kind of decent. It's +2, but from the ranges that you're going to get a crouch at, you're usually going to get this instead, which is +4. So at the end of the day, this normal feels kind of redundant. But the thing is, that normal isn't bad, it's just that it has moves that are better than it. So that's about it when it comes to the move. It's like, overall, it's not a bad move, but hit whiffing on crouchers at certain ranges definitely sucks. This next one is more of it has a niche use, like I was talking about, and that's 5H. 5H on block is okay. It's -5, steps you in, and from some ranges, it can actually be safe. -6, -2, you know, that's not too bad, you know, and as a neutral poke, it's alright, and then you combine it with headbutt pressure, and then it kind of steps up its game a little bit. You're like, okay, this normal is not too bad. It seems very solid, I can use it in neutral. That's until you remember one of the problems with Ladiva, which is, in neutral, people are ready to react duck you. Why is this? And that's because you have one of the better neutral skips in this game, where another character has a way better neutral skip. Clothesline. Clothesline whiffs on crouchers, but that's fair enough, it's the design of the move, plus it's held the whiffs on crouchers. 5H, unfortunately, also whiffs on crouchers, yes. Unless you're this close to them, this normal will serve no use to you. And in situations like this where you want to keep the opponent in the corner, if you're playing Potemkin, you use 5H to keep the lockdown going so they can't leave. With this character you want to do the exact same thing, but 5H whiffs, so you can't do that. You have to use FAR-M, which FAR-H would have been great if it worked here, but it doesn't. It doesn't. So it serves no use in that sense, and anytime that you would get the crouching hit, it's a 16 frame startup now, and it's -3, you're not getting anything too special, whereas 5H is already neutral if the opponent's crouching in this state. Like, if you're this close for this, oh my god, if you're this close, then you're usually like this close. You know, you can get that instead. So its niche use is not that good. The main thing that you could definitely say is that it's a very good whip punishment tool, because on counter hit and stuff like that, you get +6. As for EX headbutts, it's very nice in that regard, but a lot of the time, very unfortunate to use. Overall on counter hit, again, not too bad. You can get some massive damage, you get a nice linkage. It's okay. It's okay on counter hit, but besides that, awful normal. The next normal is now in the category of just awful. it's actually just awful. It makes no sense, it has no real usage, and it makes you wonder why it exists. And that is 6XH. Now 6XH is not too bad because it's an overhead. Okay, overheads are always appreciated, right? We love Potemkin Megafist. Megafist has some crazy mobility options, can avoid stuff, airborne for like frame 4. Okay, so surely Ladiva has that, right? No. The startup of the jumping part takes about 10 frames. Okay, that's kind of awful, but again, still an overhead with far reach, my lord. 27 frames though, the startup is pretty long. 27 from this distance where you're mostly using it, and 22 up close. Here's the thing though. If it's blocked, -14. What do you do with that? You get punished, that's what you do. And here's the messed up thing. You can do this weird thing, the developers have a sick love for this. If you get it on its last active frame, it becomes -7 instead? Like, who designed this move? Like, actually, who designed this move? Like, look, I'm trying to get the just placement. -8, I still get my ass eaten. -11, garbage. -52 on whip, keep that in mind. -8, wow! How long can I do this for until I get the -6? It makes you wonder if it even exists. Is the One Piece real? -8. -6. Wow, we found it. It took like 20 tries to get the -6. By the end of the day, -6 is nothing to walk away being all like, I'm so proud of my 30 frame overhead. Who designed this? Vasaraga has the exact same thing, but the thing is like he has armor that can be attached to his moves, and he already has 6XL, so he can ignore that as well, just like Ladiva. So what's the point in this overhead? It's like, okay, sure, the opponent will get hit if they're crouching. But here's the thing, your 6XM would want to be low instead, like Grans. Why? Because 6XMs that are low are safe from this distance, nothing can punish you really, unless you're playing against a scary character like, I don't know, Fairy or something like that, who can really whiff punish. -8. And when you're playing neutral, here's the main reason why you want it, is that you and your opponent are having a conversation in neutral, right? You're both walking back and forth, try to close space and call out something, right? You're shimmying, essentially. You're looking for an opportunity to kind of get in. And Gran will use these far-reaching pokes while we're walking back and forth to try and hit confirm his quarter circle back one, right? Like, that's what he's doing. But here's the interesting thing, because he has a 6XL, and we're both walking, what are we not doing? We're not guarding our shins, meaning he can just go like... And then he's in! That's it, he's in, right? Whereas Ladiva having an overhead does not help in this situation where we're both having a conversation and walking back and forth. Oh, I went for the overhead. Well, we're walking back, which covers overhead. Okay, whatever. But what if we get it on hit, right? What if we get it on hit? You don't even get Oki. You're plus 12. You can do a 6XL. But this isn't even true Oki. Like, look at the distance I need to run at sometimes. Like, you'd think you'd get a hard knockdown without Camille in a sense, but you don't. You get nothing. You actually get nothing. And here's the thing. On counter hit, now you get the hard knockdown, but now you need a counter hit with a 22 frame move that's minus 14 on block. You know what I'd rather get a counter hit with? 6XL! 8 frame move plus 2 and leads to this. That was off of 6XL. What did I get off of 6XM? Thanks 6XM. Wow, you're amazing. You gave me Oki where my combo would have already done that. 6XM is genuinely an awful normal. Actually designed horribly. And I want to know who's the sick person, right? I want to meet this guy. I want to meet the sick person that designed this normal, because they're not right in the head. There's no way they looked at that and thought, yes, this is what this character needs. An overhead that's awful. Like, if you were going to do the spacing stuff, why not make it so it's minus 2 if I get the correct spacing? Instead of being minus 14 up close, it's like minus 10. That way some characters can still get close heavy, but if I'm fighting someone that's playing a big body or the real damaging characters, they don't get that. Soares might, but I'm fighting Soares. I deserve to get hit by a close heavy if I'm using a suicide button. Up next, we're going to talk about 6XH. 6XH is also a weird normal. Like, 6XM is just awful, right? I would never use this in a match. Again, we're using this, right? But 6XH has weird properties, right? So where 6XL is just a good move, this one is just a weird move, right? It's overshadowed because it's so damn weird. So on block, it's actually safe no matter what. Okay. That's okay. 20 frame start up, always safe. And if I get the right spacing, it'll be even. But if I get an even righter spacing, which is tough to get by the way, plus 1, you can get plus 2. But look at that. Look how tough it is to get the plus 2. Plus 1. Negative 41. Plus 1. Plus 2. Finally got it. That took like 6 tries, right? You got plus 2. Okay, plus 2 from what range? Oh, like here? Wouldn't I prefer to be plus 2 from here? Which allows this? Compared to... Okay, 25 frame move that's plus 2, where it doesn't matter. 6L won't reach. Who designed this move? And the other thing is like, most 6XMs, right? Here's the interesting thing. Most 6XMs actually give you a combo. In Grant's case, he can always link into heavy, right? That's not bad, right? You can always link into heavy, even if the spacing isn't on your side, right? If the spacing's not on your side, you can always get a heavy follow-up. That's amazing for Grant, right? Other characters have this as well. And some 6XHs have gimmicks attached to them. For example, Soares will always have armor. If Big Man Vasaraga has his armor installed, he will always have it on it. And he can even charge it to get a bigger punish and use his armor to call you out. So they're well aware that you can attach gimmicks to 6XH, so why is Ladiva's this weird, like, oh, I'm playing Terry Bogard, let me get the correct spacing on my burn knuckle, that actually gives you nothing on hit, by the way. I forgot to mention that detail. On normal hit, you get nothing. You get +1. What do you do with +1 on hit? I'll tell you what you do. Nothing. Some characters have a 5 frame 5L. That means on hit, On hit, I believe Gran is one of them, right? Yeah, he is one of them. That means, like, I need to show this. That means Gran, if he got hit in the face, big boot, right? Massive boot to the face, a heavy normal. Can trade. He can trade with you. What purpose does this normal serve? And then it's followed up by this next disgusting thing. Counter hit, it gives you +6. Wow. 6XL gives you +8. Do you see why I'm annoyed by this move? And if you space it, you get +9, where you're not close enough for close medium. Whereas if I space this, I'm close enough for far medium, which is 8 frames. So no matter what, I can always do medium with 6XL. I can always do medium. Whereas with this move, like, I need to guess if I'm gonna get something good. Because I might not get counter hit. And up close, you get +5 on counter hit. What does Gran get on counter hit? Let's ask Gran. Gran, what do you get on counter hit? +14! He has enough time to do a slow special. That combos if I time that correctly. That's how much time he has to hit confirm that. Whereas if I'm up close, +5! Ladiva doesn't have a 5-frame move! Besides ultimate grab, which doesn't combo off of this. Oh, it does. I lied. But look how tight I had to be. Look how tight you have to be. This is the only hit confirm you can do up close. And the whole point in this move is that you use it to call it fireballs because it's got far reach and it's just incredible on block from afar. But you know what else has far reach and it has incredible everything else? 6XL. Why in the hell would I use 6XH? It is actually a useless normal. The interesting thing about it is that you can get gimmicky combos with it because it's a wall bounce on an air hit. But like, why would I sacrifice? Why would I try to do a weird hit confirm involving a run in my combo when I can just do a standing medium most of the time, or a headbutt, or a lariat, or good moves? This move is awful. It's actually awful. 6XM and 6XH are awful, and it's weird because the developers have shown that they can design these buttons off of gimmicks like Vasaraga having armor, Sora having armor, Gran being a Shoto and having good spacing with damage mixed in with it. This has nothing. It actually has nothing. And 6XM being an overhead is just awful. I'm always using 6XL. Every time. Every time I'm using this. On hit, it's amazing. On block, it's amazing. You just overshadowed your other moves by doing this. And I hope they don't nerf 6XL, because as soon as you nerf 6XL, I have no running attacks with Ladiva. Ladiva will have no running attacks, because this is awful, and this is awful. So when the 6XL nerf eventually does happen, because everyone's complaining about it, Ladiva is going to shoot down even further unless they give her nothing but pure buffs. Like, this is rough. So besides my rant of running attacks kind of just going on, which, sorry about that, but up next we're going to talk about the special moves that are just abysmal. So yeah, I'll get started with a move that is a special but not really. The unique. This grab is awful. Actually awful. Up close, it's a 34 frame throw, which you can fuzzy, by the way. Like, look at the difference between your strike throw, right? Usually it's something like you do that in neutral. For example, you can kind of go like, oh, I'm going to mix between medium headbutt, medium or lariat, into medium, into unique grab. It's a 40 frame start off. 40 frames. Keep that in mind. You can go to sleep and come back and hit him midway, or you can jump back. It's gross that she gets messed up like this and given such a slow throw that actually gives like no reward, by the way. You can go for Oki by doing this, which isn't too bad, right? But like, this gives okay, and it's better. Okay, so if I'm up close, I'm never using that. And if it's like this, you can go for combos instead, which is kinda cool. But mid-screen you get nothing. The combos are so awkward to get. Like for example, if you don't have any meter at the start, you don't really get anything. I've sat here and tried to come up with a combo, and this is the best I can come up with. Very awkward combo, the inputs are tight, but if you're in the corner, you know, you do get some fun bombos. You know, you can do some very simple things, and you know what, it's fun. It's fun in the corner, but that's if you land it. In my opinion, if a move like this is 34 frames, I should be getting the easiest combo known to man. Right? This gives the easiest combo known to man, this can give the easiest combo known to man, and you know, this is okay. You know, it's like, why am I getting a very mid combo for such a crappy startup for a pro? Either make it faster or give me a better combo. Like, you can keep the garbage properties. If I can get an amazing combo off of this, that would be nice. Because again, it's a launcher, so you don't get any grounded hits, right? You don't get the nice things that comes with Ladiva, aka the grounded part of your combo, which go on for quite the bit and give you amazing corner carry. Whereas with this, you need to either sacrifice meter and time ultimate Lariat very awkwardly to get something like this, because a lot of your scaling's already gone. It's a weird move, I just want to be better. The next special that I'm going to hate on is all of the Lariats, honestly. So besides Ultimate Lariat, which is slow as hell and has 2 counter punishments, which is React Throw, a lot like Hammerfall, but I've accepted that. It's a very good call-out move. It also loses to dodge, and it also loses to a very good call-out neutral jump. So it has a lot of counterplay, but every other Lariat, there's just no excuse for how bad they are. Light Lariat is a quick one, and I don't mind Light Lariat. This can stay the same way it is, which is very quick, duckable, but like unblocked. You know, it's quite nice. You know, it's a very nice move. I'm not gonna argue that. No one's arguing that, right? Unblock, +5. That's amazing. This move is awful though. 34 frames, reactable Lariat. Sure, it gives you a free combo on block. That's guaranteed. All of that is guaranteed, right? That's nice, but like, it's the same problem as this, where it's like, why am I doing this? It's not worth it. A high being duckable, and you know, it's not worth. It's not worth compared to Bran just sitting there like this, crouching. Like, he ducks it and then he 5Hs you, right? He deletes your health. You'll do it. It doesn't feel worth it. And Heavy Lariat is the biggest offender to me. I kind of hate this move. 18 frame startup. It's still duckable like the rest. And it doesn't give you the +6 that this does. It only gives you the +5, meaning you don't get a confirmed combo. And you can do a tick throw and that's about it. Here's the thing though, it's essentially a Light Lariat. Light Lariat comes out faster, whereas Heavy Lariat is just more consistent with its frames when it hits, whereas Light Lariat is usually kind of slower depending on the spacing. But these are the same moves! These are the exact same moves! And on normal hit, they don't do anything special. Light Lariat, knockdown that you can tech. Heavy Lariat, knockdown that you can tech. The only difference about Heavy Lariat is that it gives you a combo in the corner. That's it. That's all it does different from Light Lariat. So I'm thinking 2 proposed changes that would be nice. Make it a mid. There's no reason for this to not be a mid. I'm not asking for the Ultimate Lariat mid-high property it's got, where it's like very janky and weird. I'm asking just for it to be a mid. I think that would be extremely fair, and Ultimate Lariat should have armor. This move has too much counterplay to not have armor attached to it. Like, if I'm fighting a zoner character, I don't have counterplays that grapplers usually have. For example, Zangief, he has the half-circle kick grab that allows him to tank a hit from a far-reaching character like Dalsum and grab him for the counter. And if you look at Potemkin, he has Hammerfall, right? They have tools that are made for the certain matchups, whereas Ladiva just doesn't have any tool for matchups. There's actually no tool that you can use for Ladiva for the zoner matchup. The only thing you have are spot dodge, roll, and ultimate lariat with no armor. This either needs armor or bear properties. It really does. And that should just be a mid. There's no reason for this to not be a mid, or give it armor. Like, you either give it armor or a mid. This is stupid to leave as is. It's the exact same thing as this. There's actually no difference. You get rid of all the glowy effects, this is the same move, but one gives the combo in the corner, whereas the other one doesn't. That's literally all you're spending the EX for. Like, let me think about using it in neutral, right? Because if I'm playing neutral, I'm just gonna do this one every time. Let me think about it. Let me go like, you know, will I save this for my combo later, or will I use it as a mid tool to get in right now, you know? It's not as if it's a neutral skip, it's only 18 frames for God's sake, you know? It's like, if I'm throwing it out here, you can react, you can neutral jump. People are already neutral jumping this character. With the already duckable buttons, why are we adding more things to duck? It feels stupid. We're gonna get into for the next special, as that's the anti-air throws. Every single one of them. All the anti-air throws are good for our combos. Some like this. Yeah, just some like this. Yeah. You can get some like that, and that's the whole point of the anti-air throws, is that you can get OK at the end of a combo. And that's literally it. That's its entire purpose. And deal a bit of damage. Okay, that's cool, but like, can I get another use besides that? None of these lead to a combo, which I think is kinda foolish. Like, if I hit you on normal hit with the light one, I get a hard knockdown. I see that and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. If I hit you with the medium one, I get no OK, but the damage is double. Okay, that's like a good combo thing. Never using it in neutral, that's for sure. And then the heavy version, it's just the medium one, but it does more damage. No OK, but more damage. And then the ultimate version combines all of them, does more damage, and gives OK. Okay, so I'm using the ultimate one every time, or I'm using the light one. Or if my opponent's in the corner, I'm using the heavy one. That's it, I'm never using the medium one. The medium one has no purpose. Welcome back to Granblue, where some specials have no purpose, and the medium one is this. Same with this medium one. That's the weird thing. And here's the weirder thing, is like, I'm going to use an ultimate and compare it to another combo that will use one bravery point and 25% meter. 3,300 damage, that's okay. But what about my other anti-air that I have 2H, right? I got more damage when I dropped the combo. Basically, as an anti-air, this feels like it has no use whatsoever. You should always just go for 2H. That's how it feels to me, or a standing light if the opponent's close enough. Like if you're wanting to have a fast anti-air, you go bump bump, right? Or if you want an anti-air that does damage, you do this. And you get OK, right? Compare that to just bending 50 meter in neutral. These moves have no purpose in neutral whatsoever that 2H doesn't cover. It gives you damage, gives you OK, and I don't have to pick which dumb version of these moves I'm going to use. Overall, this is stupid. Give it a use in neutral. That's what I would say. Heat Knuckle has a use in neutral. It's got more reach than his 2H. It has more reach than his 6P. It's also a guard crush that pulls in. This is a move that grabs and gives knockdown with no reach, no form of call out, and you know, if your opponent's in the corner jumping, you're doing straight mix. You're not going to choose this dumb thing. You're not choosing this, you're going to do straight mix, because you're going to get this instead. Then you go into it. It's a combo tool, and that's it. So the next one might be a bit controversial, and that is the rest of the throws. So I feel as if Light Grab does its purpose, which is a very far-reaching throw that does a good bit of damage and gives OK. Honestly nice. Medium throw and heavy throw serve the same purpose, except heavy throw does more damage, so you should do heavy throw every time. But the reach on heavy throw is kinda awful. Same with medium throw. But here's the interesting thing. Same with ultimate throw. Why? Why is this? Ultimate Throw is a 5-frame startup, which is actually kinda nice, because it means in some situations where you kind of give yourself too much of a gap, aka -2 on block, or hit even, and it's also a combo extender against Oki, that's okay. But the damage on it doesn't feel like it does enough. 4,000 damage, and because of the lack of reach, it means it's a horrible combo extender unless you're point blank. So you have to do that. You can't do 1, 2, 3 into it. That doesn't exist. So either it needs more reach or more damage. Because like, if I'm getting this much damage off the light version, which is okay, 2.3k, and the only thing the ultimate does is double it, not even double it, that's kind of awful. Like, you need comparative throws in every other game. The heavier it goes, the more damage it does. The more of a punish it is, the more damage it does. Look at Zangief, look at Potemkin, current modern day fighters. Why is KOF different when it comes to their grapplers? And that's because throws usually have different mechanics attached to them. Some of them have armor, some of them are a 1-frame startup. That's the whole point of those throws. They're supposed to be disgusting in KOF. Here, you've taken the KOF formula and the Street Fighter formula and the Guilty Gear formula and took away the damage. You took the KOF route of like, oh yes, no damage, but mix it with, like, you've created the worst command grab I've used in a fighting game. Like, it does no damage, and it only gives Oki, which, you know, that's nice. I prefer Oki over damage, I'll definitely say that. But if I'm using your ultimate version, which uses 50 bar, why are you only giving me like 20%, where a combo using no meter, aka the strike mix, will do even more damage? Why are you giving me that? It feels so awkward. So in my mind, that needs to do more damage, or it needs more reach. If it has more reach, then, you know, I'm using this the same way I use Light Throw, which is like boom, boom, right? Boom, boom. Whereas here I'm all like boom, grab, boom, grab. No, I whiff. Whiff. Do you see the point? It feels awful to use in the sense of that regard. I'm always using light. If you watch any of my gameplay when playing this character, I only use Light Throw because I can rely on that reach. The amount of times I went for ultimate throw and it's whiffed is ridiculous. Actually ridiculous. But that's the end of the portion for specials, and we're going to talk about the next part, which is supers. Next one is supers. Now, even though these two essentially function the same, which is very nice, it feels like only one of them has reach. For example, if you do it from about here, that will whiff, whereas if I do this one from there, that one will reach. It feels a bit awkward. I just kind of wish they had the same reach, or if this one had a hold property where it will actually function like this. I think that'd be really interesting to have. I think it would make the character more unique and like get people thinking about this awkward mechanic that's going to hit them, a lot like how Percival can hold his blade, as an idea. So the main one that's different is this one. It's a strike version with 7 frames of iframes on the Super Flash, and then 3 for the rest. But here's the thing, Gran on reaction can throw this. Yes, because of the Super Flash, if the opponent is not doing anything in neutral, usually the bait is like, oh, I'm gonna block it, right? I'm gonna block it, I'm gonna punish it, right? And that's usually it. But Gran can just fumble this? Meaning the iframes are actually useless beyond this point. It's stupid. It's stupid. I think the iframe should be changed, and I think the start up of this should be kind of similar to this, right? Think of it. When Gran does this, does the rest of the move have start up? No, it doesn't. It just goes, right? Why is this move in this weird spot? That's literally it for the supers I want to cover. Up next, I'm just going to talk about matchups. So when it comes to matchups, Ladiva, like I said, has no anti-zoning toolkit. Again, you look at any grappler in any fighting game, they give them an anti-zoning toolkit, aka Zangief has armor throw. He has Lariat, it's not the best, but he has Lariat, right? Or he has armor in Street Fighter 5. Or he has Lariat that's good in Street Fighter 4. AKA, he always has something to use. Focus dash, attack dash cancel, right? He has these things. You look at Potemkin, he has Hammerfall, Slide Head, Mega Fist, right? Amazing tools for anti-zoning. Yeah, you look at any grappler, they always have something like that. King of Dinosaurs has a hot move that goes over projectiles, and he has armor on his throw. Okay, that's nice. I can go on forever about how grapplers have something. Ladiva has no anti-zoning built into the toolkit whatsoever, and I think unique throw should be projectile involved if this is the case, right? If I'm going to commit to something, make it good. Because of that, every single matchup where the opponent has some kind of fireball, you need to fight insanely hard. Zeta, who's not even a zoner, can competently zone Ladiva. Basaraga can zone Ladiva. Eustace will zone the hell out of him. Anir will not, because he's not a zoner. Zeox can oddly play it. It's weird. I hate that character. Lancelot will rush you down. Have fun with that. Percival, even though he's crap, can zone Ladiva, right? Unless Ladiva gets a good jump in. Siegfried can zone the hell out of Ladiva. Zoe can zone the hell of Ladiva. Narmaya can zone him. Gran can zone him. Gia can zone him. Charlotta plays rushdown, doesn't need to. Fairy will beat him. That's not a joke. Anelia, although crap, her sheeps are amazing against him. Denies him. Cagliostro, I don't want to go into detail. I hate this. Soares, playing neutral, we're punching each other, that's about it. It's fun. Yule, actually okay. Vera, this is tough as hell. I hate it. Get me out of here. Catalina, not even an amazing character, just a very solid character, just denies me with her projectile and presence. Lil Wayne zones the hell out of me. He gets to do whatever he wants in that matchup unless I get in, and then he has bravery counter. Barry will actually deny you at any opportunity you take. Grimnir can zone you, oddly enough. It's so weird. Nier doesn't play zoning, just beats you. Have fun. Belial is weird. He's weird, that's it. Beelzebub will zone you. He's not amazing at it, but he will zone you. Avatar Belial, he will zone you. He's not based around zoning, but he will do it. And that is the problem. Everyone can zone you if they have a projectile. There's nothing that you can do if you're being zoned. Whereas if I'm playing Potemkin, if I'm playing Zangief, if I'm playing Hugo, if I'm playing all these different grapplers, we'll have a tool to counter zoning. Ladiva does not. The only thing they have is the base game mechanics such as roll and bravery counter and jumping. Bravery counter doesn't help you with zoning, but you know what does helps? It helps the zoners, yes! Let me get into that. Here's the interesting thing. If Gran, your boy, is all like, Hadouken! Here's the interesting thing. Even if I manage to jump over him, most times I'm not going to reach. But if I do a high jump, I will reach. That's awesome. Here is the really sad thing. Do you see? Even if I get in where he will block, right? Keep this in mind. Even if I get in where he blocks. Do you see that? Even when I get in where he blocks, he can bravery counter me. This means every zoner has this game plan, and I'm back in neutral where I have to face zoning game plans, and I probably used meter to get in. And the only way to call out a bravery counter, by the way, you have to spot dodge it. That thing about this move, bravery counters at +6 on block, meaning it's their turn. This is the most insane alpha parry I've seen in a fighting game. There are some characters when they do an alpha parry and they hit you, they get a combo, and people call that ridiculous. That's Street Fighter Alpha Rose, by the way. This character, every character in this game gets a +6 reversal on block against a grappler that has to jump in against fireballs. Do you see where the frustration comes in? Bravery counter, alpha counter, is by far the best defensive mechanic against Ladiva if you're not going for throw. Anytime I'm doing some kind of strike combo that I'm fighting someone on, for example, I go like, oh, I'm in. Time to set up a strike throw. Nope, never mind, it's gone. It's gone, just like that. Oh, I'm gonna pull to my far end. Done. If you unironically play with this playstyle, I need to guess with spot dodge, and spot dodge kills me. It kills me. Because if I don't guess right, and you call out my spot dodge, you get so much damage, whereas if I spot dodge you, I need to do a frame tight punish that might not even connect because of the spacing. Ladiva! Mostly the ranting I'm done with. Matchups suck, blocking sucks, bravery counter is by far one of the most disgusting defensive mechanics I've seen in a game. 6XL makes all of our running attacks redundant, 5H sucks, 6L is 5L is okay, 2M's a good poke, that's about it, that's all we can walk away with. Lariats just suck, they're not great. Headbutt's the only shining thing, normal throw's good, light command grab's good, most of the other ones are iffy and weird. Anti-airs actually serve no purpose whatsoever because you have 2H, so what's the point? This character has a lot of what's the point attached to her, and that is sad, that is sad. There's a lot of easy fixes that you can do with these ideas, because they're not bad ideas. 6XL, make it so it's like a hard knockdown no matter what, right? And make it so it's -6 up close, and it's like -2 when I space it over here. That way there's some fairity to it, and I'm all like, oh okay, I have to block. And here's the interesting thing about 6XH, they already have this in game. To make it unique, all you have to do is give it armor. Now it has a purpose! Literally, you can keep every single property it has on it, give it armor, and now it's completely balanced. The other thing that you could do, if you want to make it more balanced, is that you can make it so the move is minus on block, and it still has the armor properties. But also make it plus on hit for Christ's sake, because you get nothing unless it's a counter hit, and if it's not even a good counter hit, the only thing you're getting is this. That's all you need to do. Make it more plus on hit, more minus on block, give it armor. Or make it faster, and stick with this gimmick that they've got going on, but make it so it's just plus, right? Make it so it's just plus. And if I'm over here, make it like +8 or something. Go wild, right? Why not? Because so far it has no use. Like, if this exists, this move has no use. And an easy fix for 5H is just make it hit crouchers. Like, so it's not just a whiff punish tool. If it hits crouchers, then, you know, that's it. We have a good tool. So far, Gran can just kind of like do this, and he'll avoid it. Like, watch. Like, it's bad. Like, it has no use. It actually has no use. 5H has no use. Make it so it hits crouchers. That's it. That's the only change you need to do. That's it. It's like Potemkin 5P all over again. Just make it hit crouchers. Obviously, give this some kind of unique mechanic, because this is actually just awful by itself. Everyone has such a unique thing going on, but this is just a combo throw that gives you nothing mid-screen, and it's really awkward. And it's too slow to do a real mix with. Like, if I'm threatening this, why the hell would I threaten this? It seems foolish. It seems foolish. Make it so it has some, like, iframes to projectiles. That way it has some unique thing going on, and you give her a counter to projectiles that is still committal. Or give it something better on the hit. Make it so it's like a fun sell that you can do where you can maybe sit there and hold it. So if the opponent jumps and they do a neutral jump from there, I can hold it so I can catch them landing. That way there's a main game going on. Like, they see the pose and they're like, whoop, jump, and then they're like, oh no, and then they land into you. There's so many unique things that you can do to make this move good, but they probably won't. Suggested all my things for Lariat, suggested all the things for Super. So that's gonna be Panda with this long video. I hope it was informative. I hope people can walk away thinking about the weaknesses that Ladiva has, and obviously walking away knowing the strengths, such as good tech throws, decent damage, and, you know, really good super. But besides that, most things are kind of crap, could be better, and I don't even think this character would be balanced if the top tiers were nerfed. Genuinely, I don't think they're good. I don't think they're good at all. Potemkin sweeps this character every day. Like, Potemkin sweeps. Hell, Zangief from Street Fighter, our more grounded game, would kill Ladiva in a fight. Like, he would absolutely demolish this character because his tools are better, even though his tools in that game aren't good. They are not good. Zangief in Street Fighter 6 is not a good character. He's runnable, but he's not good. This character feels worse than that. That should make you think. So Hope you enjoyed this long-winded little talk from me. Hope you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, comment. You know, let me know what you think. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm an idiot? I want to hear it. I want to know. I want to know what you think. But yeah, that'll be Panda. Peace out. Hope you have a good day. Bye.